Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope that everybody had a great weekend, whatever that entailed, whatever you committed to doing. I hope that you had a fulfilling weekend. I want to, first of all, welcome everybody to another segment of morning motivation and inspiration. Um, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Rick Wallace, the founder and CEO of the Visionetics Institute, which is a subsidiary of Rick Wallace Enterprises. I just want to tell you that I'm excited about what's going on with the company, but I'm also excited about the opportunity to touch the lives of people who are really trying to do something exceptional and extraordinary in their lives. I am not going to take a whole lot of your time this morning, but I want to hit you hard with something I want you to think about. It's good to have all the feel good stuff. It's good to be told you can do anything. It's good to be told that anything is possible because you can do anything and anything is possible. Now, the thing is, why is it that everybody doesn't get everything that they want? And the answer is actually simple. And I want to get to that. And before I do, I want to remind everybody, always check the description box at the bottom for links and resources and opportunities um, that are associated with what we do here at the Visionetics Institute. Now, look, it's real simple. There has to be a certain level of commitment to one's self, to your vision, to your purpose, and it has to be an unrelenting commitment. Uh, I can tell you this, over the 30 years I've done the things that I've done, I can tell you that everybody at some point in their life, whether it's just being a child or even in adulthood, has had some vision or idea, or dream, or imagery of a better life, what a better life would look like, what it would be like to not have to worry about paying bills, what it would look like, be like to wake up and be going into your office to work on your business and your passion and your dream, what it would feel like to be in a committed and loving and productive and functional relationship. I mean, everybody has had some idea of that. Now, the difference between the people who actually get on in this life, the people who actually arrive at the destination that they have envisioned in their minds is commitment. It is commitment to the purpose. It is commitment to the process. It is commitment to oneself. And first and foremost, the problem is that we have a bunch of people who are called daydreamers. They can sit up and they can think about all the things that life has for them. They can think about a better career. They can think about being more financially positioned. They can think about starting their own business. They can think about unbelievable relationships, traveling, and all of the things that they can sit up and look at and associate with success and happiness and joy. But the problem is they can't get past the daydream because they either move into one of several different places. Some of them move into this position of lethargy where they just sit there and daydream all day long. They have no purpose, no action, no idea of what's happening. And then there's the other group, and their thing is they know there's work to be done, but they look at the work and they measure the work and they decide that the work is too much. So in order for me to start my own business in XYZ, I'm going to have to go through several years of training to develop a skill set that allows me to move. Oh, that's too much work. That's going to take too long. That's too much time. I need it to happen right now because we live in a microwave society where everything has to happen now or it's not going to happen. And so when we can't find a way to make it happen, when we can't locate the shortcut, we just drop it and we look for something else. And so we spend our time chasing ideas. We spend our times chasing hopeful wishes. We spend our times chasing things instead of anchoring down and committing to the process, committing to the purpose, committing to the passion, committing to ourselves and saying, hey, this is what you said you want. What are you going to do about it? See, I ask people all the time, okay, what is it that you want? The very next question, people will tell you who've worked with me. What's the very next question is, so what have you done to this point to make sure it happens? And some people who come to me, they've actually put in their effort. They're trying. They may have a little tweak to do here. They may have a little tweak to do there. They may have a little bit more need of patience because they're on the right track, but they're putting in the work. But a vast majority of people that come, when I ask them that, I don't know. The thing is, You can want something, but you don't get what you want in this world. Don't let that lie seep into your thought processes. You get what you become. So if I want something, I have to look at what I want and say, what type of person gets this? What does the person who has this do? What does their day look like? What time do they wake up? How many books do they read? How much time have they invested into beating on their craft and shaping and homing their craft? Those are the questions that I ask myself whenever I've decided I'm going to take another step and I'm going to advance myself. I'll say, okay, I want to master this. I want to master that. That's my goal. In anything I do, I want to master it. I want to be as close to if not the best, the close to the best there is at it. I want to have my own little space in it that if people want it like this, the only place they can come get it is to come to me. Why? Because that gives me a space in this world. That gives me value in this world, because now I have something rare that is of value to people that they can come get. That is the establishment of your place in this world. Now, sometimes you're going to give it away. Other times you're going to have it, and it's going to have a compensatory value to it. You're going to want to be compensated for what you give, and that's absolutely nothing wrong for being compensated for what you're good at and what you're giving people, as long as what you're giving them is of equal or greater value than what you're asking for them in compensation. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's called fair exchange. And that's how business is done. That's how people exchange goods and everything like that. And that's how the world operates. Nothing wrong with that. The problem is if you're giving mediocre services and expecting exceptional and extraordinary compensation, then that's where the problem lies. But here's the thing. In order to get to a point where you can sit up and say, well, this is what I do, this is how much I'm worth, this, you've got to put in some time. To sit here, people don't understand that. To sit here and to talk to you every morning and to share with you with a level of confidence that I know what I'm talking about, that if you follow what I tell you, you're going to get results. We're talking 30 years of planning and execution and reading. I didn't just sit up one day and write 24 books. I had to be able to read. Matter of fact, I read 100 books a year. That doesn't count the other stuff that I read and research papers and study literature and all the other stuff I do when I'm developing ideas and concepts and everything to develop. But that's just me sitting up and saying, at the very minimum, I'm reading 2 books a week. And being committed to spending that time. And as busy I am, it's easy to say, man, I can't. But reading has to be a fundamental part of my process, because what I understand is that the average person in America only reads 1 book, but the top successful 5% read a minimum of 4 books a month. Well, I made up in my mind 20 plus years ago that I was going to read 100 books a year. It was painstaking the first couple of years because I'm a slow reader naturally, but I had to develop it, but I had to be committed to it. And over time, I developed a better process of reading. Then I eventually got into speed reading. And now I can consume a lot of information and retain an enormously large amount of what I read. But I go back and I read books over and over again too. Excuse me. What am I getting at? What I'm saying is there's a process to getting where you're at. I didn't just show up one day and start doing videos. I had written so much work in written content before I ever did my first video. It's crazy. And then what am I getting? I'm trying to tell you that you don't just show up. You've got to go through a process. You got to be committed to what it is you're doing. I committed myself to being an expert in the field of human behavior, and then to be able to use that to discover why people aren't succeeding and then help them succeed. I have made a good living doing it. I have helped a bunch of people. I have really, done so much for my own sense of fulfillment because of what I'm able to do for people in their lives. But it didn't just happen because I wished it. It didn't just happen because I saw it in a vision. The vision ignited it. The vision opened up the doors of purpose and passion, but I had to follow through on it. I had to act on it. I had to move on it. I had to literally stand up and say, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to make something happen in my life that will again touch other people. Because let me tell you something, if you consume yourself with trying to achieve or accumulate things from a selfish perspective where you don't consider what you're giving to others, if there's no channel for which you can pour into other people, you're going to have a very difficult time accumulating and holding on to anything. Because the thing is, you're here to touch, you're here to heal, you're here to change lives, you're here to make an impact. And when all you can think about is what you're going to get, it's going to be real tough. You got to find a way to touch, you got to find a way to make people better. As my grandfather would say, you got to find a way to fill your space. And that's what I'm challenging you to do today. Be committed to yourself, committed to your purpose, committed to the passion and the process. Be committed to go the distance. Be committed to follow through. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop thinking it's going to fall in your lap. That's not going to happen. What I want to do is challenge you to start living life at the level of your design. That's my challenge to you. Now, real briefly, I want to point you to the description box or the post box, wherever you're watching this at, the place where the write-up on this video is, and go there. And there are two things I want you to check out. Number one is for today only, I am offering my bronze package, which is the second most popular package. I'm offering my bronze package at a significantly discounted rate. The bronze package is a 12-week program where we're working on absolute change. And this is a 12-week program, 12 sessions over 12 weeks, program development, DISC assessment, personality assessment, literally looking at where you're at, what's going on, what you're doing, what you shouldn't be doing. In that description box, there's a link. And for today only, you can get that bronze package, which is a $2,500. It's $2,540. You can get it for $1,500 a day. Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying, wow, let me explain something to you. As I said, I spent 30 years developing my concept of visionetics, 30 years of understanding and knowing how to teach people to reconstruct their self-image, to reconstruct their thought processes, to reconstruct literally their standards and their expectations for themselves in this world. I am exceptional at it. I have an unbelievable success rate because I know what I'm doing. So that is actually well within its range. You look, if you want change, it starts at a place where you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. It's that simple. No, it's not for everybody. And I understand it may not be in everybody's budget. And for the people who look and say, man, I wonder what it's like to work with this guy, there's another link. It's called the Rapid Change Breakthrough Session. I want to show you what it's like to work with me. And in one session, what you can accomplish in one session. But let me tell you something. Again, it's about commitment. Here's my thing. If you come to me and you're committed to being the best version of yourself, I will help you get there. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I have not had one person come to me who were committed. I am at 99 point way up there. The one time, I'm literally one time that I interviewed a person after working with them and they were not fulfilled, it's because they didn't complete it. They bailed well before the program was up. And it happens, but that's why I interview people so diligently and so thoroughly before I start to work with them, because I only want to work with people who want to win. Because if you stay with me, you're going to win. If you stay with me, you're going to find some stuff that you've never touched before. If you stay with me, you're going to elevate yourself. It's amazing that anytime I open up a new program, the people who tend to flock to it initially are the people who've worked with me in the past. It's because they know. And so the thing is, anything that is worth having is going to cost. Not always in money, but it's going to cost. It's going to cost you time, energy, effort. Sometimes it's going to cost you delay, frustration, disappointment, setbacks. But it's all a part of the process, and process always precedes promise. This is my challenge to you. If you're serious about changing your life, and only if you're serious, because my time is valuable and I want to work with people who really want to see something different in their life, and they need to have a specific actionable plan and an understanding of what they need to do. I want you to find your space in one of those two places and work with me. I'm going to give you everything I have. And if you give me everything you have, we will achieve. It's that simple. And yes, I can speak with that level of confidence because I've learned that there's absolutely nobody that can't win. I've worked with people with autism. I've worked with people with Down syndrome. I've worked with people other learning disabilities as diagnosed by other school psychologists or whatever. I've worked with people from extreme poverty. I've worked with people from abusive past. I've worked with people who grew up in abusive households, sexually, emotionally, physically, and I have yet to find a person without a gift. I've yet to find a person that cannot overcome what they've been through. Another thing I specialize in is in healing trauma. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about that later on today. But what I'm telling you is, I never met a person that couldn't overcome. I never met a person who couldn't become. But the thing is, how committed are you? On that note, look, I'm going to get out of here. But I hope that you really, truly grasp the opportunity that is in front of you. I think that as volatile as 2022 is going to be, it's going to be one of the greatest opportunities as far as a year is concerned for people to truly explode onto the scene and fulfill their dreams. It's going to be an opportunity to get out of the status quo. The status quo is what's been holding you back. It's going to be an opportunity to start doing things differently, to reinvent yourself, to reestablish yourself, to present yourself differently in the world and present yourself differently to yourself. And this is going to be that opportunity. I told everybody I knew that I cared about before the year ended that 2022 is going to be a big year. Things are going to change. Things are going, and it's not going to be because it's going to be easy, but it's because it's possible. And if you put in the work, crazy things happen. And on that note, I'm gonna get out here. As I always say, I live my life on full. My challenges, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I challenge you to do the same. On that note, I'm out of here.